What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Thursday.
Hi, team.
Happy Thursday. We are live.
That's right.
The Casa of Cris. What was your Spanish name? Cristobal. No. Is that what it was?
Honestly, my Spanish name was Pio.
Oh, okay. So so Pio, which.
What was your Spanish name?
David. It's about the same.
That's,
Easy.
That's unfortunate.
Well, that's easy to remember.
You want to know why I picked Pio?
Is it just P? How do you spell it?
P-I-O.
P-I-O, huh? X, like the I with the.
Nope.
Oh.
Literally P-I-O. And I chose it because it was the shortest name.
Yeah.
It's the least amount of letters I gotta remember.
I guess that's pretty smart, actually.
Smart little kid.
Yeah.
Well, with that fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact, that's our Spanish names, Bangarang.
That story was probably more fun than the Vikes game last night.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That is... I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we have to.
Well,
we bring you guys the news.
We're not starting with that. We're starting with WAG Talk.
WAG Talk presented by... Come on, Chris, give her name out.
Abby.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, did you see that Patrick Mahomes had his baby?
Girl, right?
I think.
Yeah. It's his third.
Yep.
I knew it was their third. I should say this. I didn't know it was like... I knew she was pregnant, but I didn't know like when it was due.
Talk about scheduling. Good job.
Yeah, I feel like professional athletes do that.
I do think so too.
Like,
but you would think that they would schedule it for after the year.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't wait,
Yeah.
Chris, after a good game. Yeah,
That's true.
Anyways.
Did you see the name of the child?
No. To be honest, I didn't know the child was born.
Okay. It was born a couple days ago.
Okay.
But the name, I want to give us your first impressions.
Okay.
Name, Golden Ray, R-A-Y-E.
That's her middle name?
Yep, first name Golden.
I don't get it. Sorry, I will stay saying this forever. I don't... Like, okay, first of all, that's not really that crazy, like Golden Ray. I actually do like Ray. I think that's nice. I actually think it flows, too. But the one thing I don't understand is, like, why not, like, just... And I don't want to say normal names, but, like, all these celebrities now are coming up with these crazy names.
Golden Ray Mahomes, 1/12/25. So on Sunday.
You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. It's a hot take. I actually kind of like it.
Okay.
But
do you like the R-A-Y-E or R-A-Y?
I think it's just R-A-Y.
No, it's R-A-Y-E.
Oh.
That's how you spell it.
Oh, so not only do they do a crazy first name, you have to spell the middle name incorrectly also.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, that probably makes it a little more feminine, maybe? Oh, wait. Don't look that up.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm going to give a...
I'll say this. I don't hate it because I think it rolls together, but I think it would be better if it was actually like Golden Ray.
Okay.
Like you called her that, like Golden Ray. Like that was her first name. Like it was all together.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I think, like, here's the thing. Golden. Okay.
Well, you know that they're going to call her Golden Ray.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I would be better. Yeah, I guess technically.
All first name.
Right, yeah.
Rather than first name middle.
Yeah, you have to, because what if you're talking about colors in class and they say, oh, that's golden brown? Is she going to raise her hand every time?
Hopefully
I'm serious. Okay.
All right, so their other kids' names. So these
are all girls, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh, they're not girls?
No.
Okay.
I think they have 2 girls and 1 boy now.
Got it, okay.
Sterling.
Sterling, does she have a...
Sterling Mahomes.
Okay, I actually like that. That's the girl?
Yep.
Okay.
And then Patrick Mahomes the third.
Yeah, fucking the class.
But...
That's because his dad is...
But they call him Bronze.
Who calls him Bronze?
Apparently they do.
The family does?
Yeah.
Wait, why? Because he's a third?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm dead serious.
I'll say this.
Straight from the source.
No. My impression. First of all, I thought Golden Ray was a little. I think Golden Ray goes well together. I think it was a little crazy. Just call your son Bronze.
That's insane.
When you named him specifically after yourself, because I think Patrick Mahomes' dad is also. I think it's Patrick Mahomes Jr., isn't it?
Patrick Mahomes the second, I think.
The second, yeah. Is that Junior? Is Junior the second?
Yeah, but I think it's
a little different.
I think you choose one or the other.
Okay. But I'm saying, so he's Patrick Mahomes the second, now his son is Patrick Mahomes the third.
Yeah.
And you obviously wanted that to keep going, so you distinguished it by calling him Bronze.
Yeah. Sorry,
Like-
buddy. You're destined for third place.
Yeah, you're just unfortunate. That's unfortunate for the kid.
Isn't
Also,
that,
like, who
isn't that crazy?
Who comes up with that shit?
Okay.
Sorry for my language, but who comes up with Bronze?
You want to know their dogs' names?
Dogs' names, I will say this, are a little different than kids' names, but yeah.
Steel.
Okay.
Steel.
Do you know what these dogs look like?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
And silver.
Okay, so the kid is below the kid is below the dog. Right?
Yeah. Bronze is lower than silver.
So literally the boy of the family, and I'm not saying anything bad, but
with the same name as Patrick Mahomes, one of, if not the best quarterback ever.
yeah, is his son is Bronze. His newest daughter is Golden, and his dog is Silver. And unfortunately, I would hope that. So at some point, Silver is not going to be with us any longer. I mean, you would hope that you would think that the kid would be longer. But anyways, that is crazy.
Okay, so you want to hear them all together?
What's her name? Brittany.
Brittany, yeah.
And he's Patrick, obviously.
Well, you think he goes by Silver?
I don't even think people call him Patrick. They just call him Mahomes.
Yeah. All right, so these are all of them together.
Okay, so this is the family photo.
Other than the parents, because their names are regular.
Patrick and Brittany.
Yeah. So starting with the kids and moving to the dogs.
Okay.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Bronze. Golden. Steel. And silver.
Yeah.
Do you notice a trend?
Wait, they're all
Sterling,
like metals.
Sterling.
Are they all metals?
Sterling, bronze, golden, steel, and silver.
They're all metals.
Is that not weird?
Yeah, I don't get that. They're all metals.
Yeah.
I think Golden Ray is great. I actually think Golden Ray goes together well, and don't get me wrong, he's probably a great father, and they have enough money to do whatever they want, but why not just be normal?
You can name your kids whatever you want.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting with when you break it down like that and you give the full family photo, and with the dogs too. It's like the thing that I don't understand, or the thing that I think is always so crazy is, like, I thought it was very unique. Like, we have a friend, like Jacob Ulrich in high school, who his whole family started with J's. It's like Jacob, John, Jody, Jordan, whatever.
That's like Such.
Yeah, Such. Same thing.
Jake, Jeremy, Josh, Jamie.
What's his mom's name?
Barb.
See? But I'm saying even these parents were the same. But that's what similar.
Okay.
And then you got people who would name their kids after, like, Andrew Paul is from the Bible, whatever. But why do people, especially famous people who your kid is already born famous, do that to their children?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then also to be like, okay, you're going to have the same name as me. It's like the same thing, was it? It was LeBron James came out and was like, he said something, I don't remember exactly the quote, but it was basically like, I don't want my son to think he has to live up to, like, my hype. You named him the same name as you.
Right. Your firstborn son.
Like, come on.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's possible for him not to think he has to.
Right. It's the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy take.
But there you go.
I mean, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome. Another kid, and probably a good-looking kid and going to grow up famous, but I just can't imagine. I mean, that has to be like when kids introduce themselves and they talk about, like, fun facts, like, my whole family's named after metals.
Yeah.
And I'm bronze. I'm the third.
I'm actually the lowest one on the totem.
Yeah, and actually my dog is above me.
Yeah. Do you think...
Wait, so what's the second girl? So there's Golden Ray, Bronze, and what's the girl? Sterling.
The oldest.
Okay, the oldest. So they started out kind of normal. Sterling's a cool name.
Sterling Silver.
I actually like Sterling Mahomes. That's a cool name. Yeah, Sterling Silver, yeah. But
maybe they got the dog right after they had the baby. Sterling Silver.
God, some people...
do you think that Brittany's going to be at the game with Golden?
I don't think Golden will be there.
This coming Saturday?
I do think Brittany could make an appearance. I'd just be...
6 days out? That's
that's a lot. That's aggressive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the recovery. I would assume that's pretty close. I would say the kid probably won't be there because I think it's too loud.
But do you think that Brittany will be there if the kid is not? She just had the baby.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, probably not then, right? But then, so the other kids will go with like the family. But
I don't know, dude.
did they just not go and stay home?
Maybe they'll just be hanging out with T Swift.
Oh God, could you imagine? Yeah, if Taylor just took them.
A little babysitter action.
Oh, could you imagine how much the news would blow up
They
if
would
Taylor
freak
walked in
out.
with the kids?
Oh my gosh.
Jesus, Martha, help us.
Alright, well, now that we spent enough time talking about that,
That's crazy, though.
we're moving on to college football.
Yeah, college football championship
Coming up Monday.
next Monday, or Monday.
This coming Monday.
This coming Monday, the 20th. You got Ohio State facing Notre Dame.
Yep.
Let's do a little recap of how do you think, we've talked about this kind of in the past, the college football playoff.
Okay.
There's obviously, it's going to stay, it's going to do whatever. There's some good, there's some bad. Overall rankings, do you think it was good? Do you think it increased people's want to watch football? Do you think it was like, no, we should go back to just bowl games? What do you think?
I don't think that it increased the
Viewings?
desire to watch football.
Yeah. You think it was just the same people are going to watch the same amount?
I liked the way that, I can't remember who it was they put it, but it was like the 12-team playoff, it basically gives high profile schools a second chance at a national championship.
Right. It gives more teams the option to win a national championship.
Well, a second chance, right? Because, like, okay, you look at this. Notre Dame, they were the 7th seed. Granted, they were pretty highly ranked. But they were the third team, the third highest rank outside of the conference champions, right? So with that, they wouldn't have been in the college football playoff last year.
Right.
Right. And so they get a second chance for losing to Northern Illinois, right? Is that who they lost to?
Was it? Yeah, Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois?
Yep.
So they lost to Northern Illinois. They get a second chance, and now they're in the playoff, and now they're in the national championship.
Right.
Ohio State, they lost to Michigan, who's very mediocre this year, and they get a second chance, and they're in the playoff. They are in the national championship now. Penn State, they lost in the Big Ten championship. They probably wouldn't have been in a 14 playoff. Maybe not though.
Yep.
They get a second chance to get to the semifinals. And Texas, same thing. They lost to Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yep.
Second chance, they get to the semifinals.
Yeah.
So it was like,
well, every single team besides
that makes sense.
Besides Oregon. Well, who did Oregon only lost? They lost one time to Ohio State in the college football playoff. So technically, every other team got a technically second chance.
Yeah, you could argue, okay, Arizona State's not going to be in there.
Right.
Boise State's not going to be in there.
Right.
And, but otherwise, you don't know who the other 3 teams are going to be with Oregon.
Yeah.
So the rest of the teams, they got a second chance at getting to a national championship. And Ohio State and Notre Dame made the most of them.
Yeah. No,
So,
I agree. And I think it's just...
I was like, oh, that's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
It's basically just giving the teams that are going to be in this situation anyways just a little bit of extra leeway just in case they lose a game that maybe they shouldn't, or they lose a game towards the end of the year that bumps them back a little bit farther than previously allowed. Now they're still in the playoff and they can make a run, just like Ohio State.
Well, because I think it's one of those things too where, like you said, it's like it used to be, okay, well, if you lose the Big Ten championship, you really don't have a chance.
Unless you were undefeated going in.
And you kind of already were solidified in that game. But now it's like, okay, well, you got to, and you also have to prove it by winning 2 or 3 more games to go to the championship. And you look at it, every single best ranked team lost in the first round. I mean, like you said, this is an 8-7 matchup. Who, don't get me wrong, both teams are very good, so it's kind of the same. But it just is interesting where, like you said, you look at it, second chance or not, I mean, you got to prove it once it gets to this. Because I think a lot of the thing, too, would be with the transfer portal and everything like that now, these teams that weren't going to be in those high bowl games, the game they would play might not be as highly viewed or highly... Like, if they're not playing in a big game that's going for the national championship and you have a team like Ohio State who's ranked 8, they could have a lot of guys enter the transfer portal. Or if they weren't in the college football playoff. Does that make sense?
Not really.
So, like, if you don't have the college football playoff and there's only one national championship, and you're not in the national championship, I feel like the probability that you have guys that are transferring is higher than this now. But you don't have anybody from Ohio State that's transferring.
Yeah, you will.
You will, but I'm saying like you don't have as many because you have that chance. Obviously, Penn State was the one thing where their backup quarterback had to enter the transfer portal. But like for the most part, if they weren't going to play in the college football playoff, they were just going to play in some random bowl, one game. I guarantee you there would be more players that are like, I'm not playing this. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going to sit out this game.
Players that are playing.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Players that are playing some. I mean, if they're in the college football playoff and and they lose early enough, they can just jump in the portal then anyways.
No, yeah, it's more so for the guys that are somewhat playing. It gives them that bigger chance. But I think the college football playoff was great. I think there obviously will be some tweaks and some stuff next year, and we'll see what happens. But
yeah,
I mean, you look at these games. Some of them were blowouts, some of them were whatever. But this is what we all ask for. We all ask for if you win your conference championship or you do whatever, you deserve a chance. Granted, you got blown out, but okay, you deserved a chance.
Yeah,
Arizona State, great story.
There were 3 good games to this point?
Yeah.
Texas, Arizona State, Texas, Ohio State, and
Notre Dame,
Penn State.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's kind of what you want.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first time, and also the hard part, it's just there's always going to be that discrepancy. I feel like where there's the teams at the top are just they're just better.
Yeah,
they're just better. So even Tennessee's a good example. You're a great team. You're top 10. You lose by 25 points to Ohio State. Wasn't even close.
I think Ohio State, they have something figured out, and they kind of came into it like, all right, this is ours.
Chip on your shoulder a little bit.
What's your preview of the national championship?
I will say this. I think it's Ohio State has obviously looked very good. I think last game just kind of showed how dominant Ohio State really is. I mean, they didn't really throw the ball that much.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith really was kind of, I don't want to say irrelevant, but he really wasn't relevant.
He had 3 receiving yards.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty irrelevant.
Right, so he's pretty irrelevant for a guy who had that high hopes going in. And then it's just like, I don't know, you look at the rest of the team, they can run the ball, their defense is elite. And so I don't know, in my eyes, it'll be very hard. I think Notre Dame's a good team. Notre Dame does like to run the ball. This Ohio State defense is stout against the run and very good, so I think it'll be a tough game. I think Ohio State, I don't know, probably will cover the 8 points, to be honest.
I would be shocked if Notre Dame won.
Yeah. Oh, if Notre Dame won, I would be shocked if Notre Dame covers.
Really?
I don't think they have the firepower to keep up with that Ohio State offense. I mean, that Ohio State offense has 3 wide receivers that could be in the NFL.
Yeah. Who's the third one?
Well, that Tate kid apparently is really good too, but then you have Jeremiah Smith, who's potentially a first-round draft pick. Ibuka is a first-round draft pick.
Potentially a first round as long as he doesn't pass away before he goes to the NFL draft. He's a first-round draft pick.
Right. Potentially a first overall pick, what people are saying.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think
that's almost locked up.
Yeah, so I just think that offense is just too firepower, and I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, Notre Dame's offense is good, Riley Leonard's very good, but I just don't think you can keep up with that Ohio State team, and they have 2 dominant running backs.
It is a team that, like, Notre Dame is going to try and grind the game out.
Yeah, they have to.
Which is the only way that they'll be able to keep it close, is the clock just keeps going.
Yep.
So,
long possessions.
If they can slow Ohio State down enough and just like get them off the field and then have long draining possessions and running the ball, like, oh, it's 3rd and 4 and they get 5 yards. Oh, it's 3rd and 2 and they get 3 yards, and then it resets it and another 3 minutes goes off the clock. That's like the only chance that they have. Yeah,
they have to do that. The way it doesn't happen is if Ohio State comes out of the gate right away, gets the ball first and scores. And then if they
I think that they would start.
They might start like that, but if they go down by 2 scores, they just don't have. I just don't think they have the potential to get back in the game.
Right.
They're a good team. They're a good defense, but they're, like you said, they're a grinded out, run it team that wants to run the ball.
Here's a random question: if Notre Dame wins the toss, do they take the ball?
Oh, I don't know. I'm always indifferent about that. I think you want it after the halftime.
You want it after the half, but in this case, you know that if Ohio State comes out and scores right away, then it's like, well, crap. If we don't score on our first possession, it could get ugly fast.
I still think you defer to halftime because then it gives you kind of that hope. Even if you're down 2 scores right before the half and you cut it to 1, Notre Dame is a very good second half team. because it's the other way too. It's like, so what happens if they get the ball first? They don't score, and then Ohio State goes down and score. Now you're double negative, right? Now you don't get it after half. I mean, it's hard to say.
But you have 2 possessions to score to their 1 to at least get on the scoreboard.
Yeah. No, I 100%. I still think you defer in.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Do you think that? There's been some rumblings, Marcus Freeman potentially being a candidate for NFL head coaching jobs? Do you think he'll be back at Notre Dame next year?
That's a good question. I don't know. I always think it's hard because when you're in college and you're a dominant program like that, and now especially with NIL and all this stuff, like I just think some people are made for college. I think he's a good college coach.
He is a very good college coach.
I think it's different, and we've talked about this. I think it's different when you're trying to motivate players. It's different when you're in college and they're trying to motivate you because you're in college. It's very difficult, It's very, very difficult to motivate NFL and professional athletes because they do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if I want to show up late, I'm going to show up late. Unfortunately, I'm going to get fined or do whatever. But
hopefully not. But
I'm just saying, it's one of those things where it's just hard because they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And so I think some people are just built more for college. Don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong. And at Notre Dame, he's the face of Notre Dame. He's probably making good money.
Probably. Yeah.
So I just don't know.
Probably get a bonus.
He probably already has been getting bonuses because of
some kind.
Yeah, whatever it is.
There's a lot of water flowing in here.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say he probably still stays. I don't know. There's a lot of head coaching jobs open, and I think it's probably a dream for a lot of people. But I just think at the same time, if you already have your name built like that, stay at Notre Dame. Build that, and you're the face of it. You love it. So he has 6 kids. Did you know that he has 6 children?
It's a lot.
Yeah, good guy, family man.
Probably, yeah.
Has to be. But no, I don't know. What is your take? Who do you think? Ohio State, Notre Dame.
What, to win?
To cover 8 points. Would you take them to cover or not? Right now, 8 points.
Yeah, I'd probably take them to cover.
Notre Dame. Yeah, we'll see.
It's a lot of points and it's a weird number, but yes, I probably would.
$1,400 to get the ticket. $1,400. Not cheap. Not cheap. So. Yeah, I think it's been good. I think it's good that these 2 teams are too. Because it's crazy though. What's funny is Ohio State, after they lost to Michigan, there were so many people that were like, "Give us Ryan Day's head. We want Ryan Day.
Yeah,
this guy sucks. He's horrible. He's about to go win a national championship for you." Yeah. And guess what? You're still gonna say it because people are like that. And it's like, jeez.
Yeah, but
you can't win.
I don't know. It's hard to know what it feels like from the outside looking in because. Yeah. Unless you're part of the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, I don't think anybody can fully comprehend what that means.
Right, what that is. Yeah. No, 100%. And I think at some point, the question always looms is okay, yes, obviously we want to beat Michigan, but would you rather have a national championship or beat Michigan? Would you rather have a national championship?
Dude, I don't know.
I would wait. I mean, I know they take it seriously, but at the end of the day, a national championship is how you get remembered.
Seriously.
It's just, I feel like just because they also have not beat Michigan in so long, and they're always, especially this last year, Michigan was terrible, supposed to be terrible. Ohio State was obviously top 10, and they beat, you know what I'm saying? So it's, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it should be a good game. That's Monday.
Yep.
Before Monday, we have a little bit of action on Saturday and Sunday, NFL.
2 games each.
Wild card weekend is now wrapped. With a bow, probably, we talked about this off air, I think people would agree with us potentially, the most boring wild card weekend of sports in the NFL playoffs, probably the latest we can remember.
It was not great.
So,
a lot of blowouts. Teams, honestly, let's see, what was it? 2 underdogs won?
Texans.
Oh, 3 underdogs.
Texans, Commanders, Rams, technically.
Yeah.
The unders hit in every single game, not a lot of points scored.
Ooh, we want points.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, I will say this: Commanders, very impressive, great game.
Yep.
Rams also played fantastic, great game. I think the Texans. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Chargers were great, but it was still at Houston. It was very interesting.
Texans were probably the surprise of the weekend.
Yeah, they came out and just dominated. I mean, they came out. I mean, that game I think at halftime was 10-6. and then they just started. And I'll say this: I think Justin Herbert is very good. I do like Justin Herbert, but at the same time, I mean, his wide receivers need to catch balls. I mean, I think he had 4 interceptions. 3 of them went right through the hands.
Yeah.
Like, literally right through the hands, and it was like...
Of who?
Well, McConkey was one.
Yeah.
Hey, but don't dog McConkey. That bro is the only guy that could catch the ball on that team.
I thought 2 went through his hands.
Well, one for sure went through his hands. The other one went right off of Will Dissly's hands.
Oh, it was Disley. Okay.
That was probably very easy catch.
I thought that was McConkey, too.
No. And then the hardest part about the Chargers is I love Lad McConkey. He's actually very good. The problem is no one else on the team knows how to run a route. Quentin Johnson doesn't even know what he's doing.
No.
And so it's like, hey, it's 4th and 3, and you run a route that's 1 yard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's like, God, that pisses me off. But I don't know. Yeah, the Texans came out, dominated. They defense won. Mm-hmm. So then you had Ravens, Steelers. That game really wasn't very close.
I didn't watch much of that one.
Yeah, to be honest, second half, the Steelers looked pretty good, but I don't know. There's people asking for Justin Fields, so you know how that goes.
Oh,
obviously, Russ wasn't playing well, but he finished with 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, but I will say this: the interesting thing, and obviously, I don't think you saw it if you didn't watch a lot, but there was a play in the game when the Ravens went for it on 4th down.
Okay.
They substituted out right away both of their wide receivers to get bigger guys in.
Yeah.
They start substituting, so instantly you have the Steelers start substituting.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Steelers are like mid-substitution, and they let the Ravens just play. Do a sneak with Mark Andrews for 2 yards.
And they didn't call it.
They didn't stop. They didn't do anything. They just let it happen. And you look at Mike Tomlin, and he was kind of looking around like, but he didn't argue. He just was like, whatever. So
you think he just checked out?
I don't know if he was checked out. I think that whole team. I mean, George Pickens was checked out. Yeah. I mean, the last few weeks of the season, they were god awful.
Yeah.
And so I think they were just done, and you got guys getting interviewed. George Pickens, that's basically like, will it get better? Well, it got better. Does this give you any positive outlook into the future? And he goes, no. It's like, yeah, that's the guy I want on my team.
Right.
That guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know what happens with moving forward with Russell Wilson. Obviously, he's not costing you a ton of money, so.
That's positive.
Justin Fields, I don't know, but we'll see. Next game, Bills-Broncos. This was a game that I think people thought the Broncos.
Okay, I did.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say this.
I was the only one that picked Denver in our little group thing.
Yeah, and I'll say this. The Broncos, the first possession, that deep ball, and I was like, holy moly.
I was like, let's go.
We could be in for one. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped. And I will say this. Watching that game, it never even made sense. After that play, all of a sudden, every single time, 1st and 2nd down, they just started running the ball. You're not a running team with Javonte Williams. He's not great. Throw the ball.
That was dumb.
So that game was tough. Eagles, Packers. I don't know. Is Jordan Love the future?
I'm glad he's not the Vikes' future.
I mean, $50 million? 50? Is that what they're paying? I have to make sure they're paying him 50. Something close, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't think he's the guy. Sorry. We'll see what happens. Unfortunate, we kind of won it. Well, we didn't win anyways, but Philadelphia, also a new story. Are they the worst fan base in all of sports?
I mean, you could have already known
said
that. Yeah.
You would say they are the worst in all of sports? It's hard to think of another one that's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, those videos that are surfacing are bad. They're bad.
Yeah, but this is every single year.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing.
It's bottles thrown, cans thrown.
It's naughty language.
Berating words.
Yeah. It's got to be up. They have to be top 2 or 3. I can't really think of another one.
There isn't another one that's like, oh my gosh, that's obvious.
Yeah. So screw them. To be honest, hope the Rams win that game. You got Commanders. That was an exciting game. Commanders, Buccaneers.
Upset.
Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, going into Philly.
In the cold weather.
Yeah. Commanders, Buccaneers. Fun game to watch. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected. The guy does not even get excited about anything.
All right, here's a question for you.
Okay.
How many quarterbacks would you take to start your franchise over Jaden Daniels? This takes into account age, all that stuff. Ability.
How old is...
If you just want to start naming ones that
I guess I would
like,
say this,
oh,
not
for
off
sure.
the top, not knowing specific ages, but here's who I would take no matter what. I would say Josh Allen,
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I would say, damn. I don't really. I mean, I'm not saying I'm stuck, but
Okay, Josh Allen.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I would. I would say Joe Burrow. I would say
What about CJ Stroud?
no. Sorry, no.
What about Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we hate Mahomes, I would take Mahomes.
Okay.
But I'm looking at
What about Jalen Hurts?
No. I think
Jordan Love?
Nope. Come on. Caleb Williams? Hell no.
Baker Mayfield?
No. Bryce Young?
Brock
no.
Purdy?
No. Geno Smith? No.
Okay, so
Herbert,
it's,
no. I think 4 teams.
Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, and Mahomes.
Yep.
Those 4.
Those 4 are the clear-cut ones. I will say this. I think. I mean, I don't know. I do think he's going to be up there. I just don't, like I said, age. But if those guys play for 5-6 more years, I mean, they're the guys you kind of want. They've proven it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I
So
think
he's
a
number
stud.
5.
He's a stud. Gotta be top 7, 8. What do you think? You think any of those names are not on there, or would you say those names / include anybody else in that?
No, I think that's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
There isn't really anybody else that's like, oh my gosh, you completely missed them.
yeah. I will say this.
I think the next questionable person
Yeah.
would be Stroud.
Yeah, what's crazy to me though about CJ Stroud is I think CJ Stroud is great, but he just also has games where it's like,
Yeah, but he's also in his second year in the league.
yeah, he's
He's
young. He's
young.
got the young. He's got the age.
He has 2 playoff wins under his belt.
Yep.
And he's shown that he can lead a team.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, pretty strong qualities when you're that young.
100%.
So
Yeah.
him and Jalen Hurts. But I think Stroud
I
might
just don't
take the
know,
cake.
though.
Stroud's younger, making less money.
And also with Jalen Hurts now with the injury, Jesus, it's 15 already. With Jalen Hurts to an injury thing, I don't know. At some point, I think his passing will catch up to him. He can't pass.
Maybe.
He
I
can't
mean, he's
throw.
good for fantasy, but
No, he's great for fantasy because he scores touchdowns
an
and runs.
actual NFL quarterback.
But we're talking actual franchises. I would way rather take Jaden Daniels. So
What is Stroud your next guy as well, or you have somebody else in like the
what
Jay
those ones
Daniels and then
that
this
I just
quarterback?
named.
Well, you have the 4, then Jaden Daniels, then I have CJ Stroud next. You
Oh,
have
you're
somebody
saying
in
after
that spot.
No, I would say CJ Stroud's up there. I will say this.
Who was the one that you?
I was
considered?
very, very impressed this year with Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix has a lot of talent.
Oh, so you take him above CJ Stroud?
No. He's behind CJ Stroud. I'm saying it's close though. He was the one that I was kind of teetering where I was kind of like, he's decent.
It didn't seem like you were teetering on CJ Stroud.
I think CJ Stroud is solidified. You could even say CJ Stroud is top 5. I mean, he's 1 year older than Jaden Daniels.
Right.
I just don't think after this, like Kyler Murray, no. Stafford, too old. Purdy, no.
Yeah, there's no other ones.
There's no other ones. I mean, I do love Justin Herbert, but bro throws the ball way too hard for people to catch. So no one can catch his ball, like the ball.
Yeah,
so.
soft hands.
I don't know if that matters, but yeah, good player. Last game of the week, we have the Vikings, Rams. A lot of question marks going into the off season.
Yep, for the Vikes.
Sam Darnold, a lot of people were already ready to bench him last game, which interesting. But I just think there's more that goes into it. We talked about this off air. There's more that goes into it with the game, I feel like, where it's like the coaching decisions didn't seem great. Our defense didn't seem great. It was just one of those games that even from the get-go, we didn't come out like we really wanted to play.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the last 2 weeks, like the Lions game. It's like, those are the games I feel like we should be so hyped up about, and we're just kind of like, we're hyped.
Do you think it's like paralysis with hype, where it's like we're too hyped that you just are paralyzed and are like can't do things to the best of your ability, and then it's like, oh shoot, we're down 7-0.
Yeah, and I think the pressure gets to him, and I think it's hard. I mean, it's hard always to play on the road, but especially with this, when you're going into Detroit. But I think it's not. I'm not just talking
we
about.
Can't even say that that's the reason, because the last time we were in the playoffs, we were at home and we still lost.
100%. But I'm saying, like, when you look at, I think what the thing you're talking about is not so much Sam Darnold, but more so like coaching staff and other players, where it's like we talked about this off air. We lost to the Giants at home, and so it's like now this
basically with the same team that they had at the beginning of this year plus Saquon,
right? And now it's like
and worse receivers.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. I think the hype gets too high and everything gets too high. I think the hardest part about it is it's just like I think we try to change our game plan too much. We talked about this last week, like against the Lions, going for it on fourth down, playing their game, not playing our game. It's like you watch us play the Rams, we come out, we give up a first possession drive that made it look like we weren't even playing defense. And then we come out and it's like, what do? Well, let's run the ball.
Yeah.
Let's run the ball twice and try to throw. And then we get sacked, and next thing you know, we're punting again. Yeah. It's like, oh, our defense really wants to go back out there. That's great.
I hate when you run the ball on first down, 2-3 yard gain, then you run it again on second down. That is like one of my biggest pet peeves.
100%.
It's like, what are we doing here? You're paying a quarterback. That's the most important position. You got to throw it. At least one of the first two downs.
Well, it's like you look at the good teams, and it's like,
unless your running back is like the best in the world. Sure,
like you have a Saquon, you have a... And here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm fine if you want to run your first possession a run. Sure.
First play.
Yeah. First play.
Yeah, but if you totally. Just a pass one of the first two.
But the next few plays, it's like, yeah, let him sling it. Like, and here's the thing. The good teams always make, I feel like, their first few passes super easy passes.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be 28-yard rip down the middle.
No, it's a 3-step drop, and hey, I'm throwing it to Jefferson on a curl. Boom.
Yeah.
Or I'm throwing it to him on a slant. Yeah. I'm not trying to throw a deep post or some shit. It's just like, I don't know. In my eyes, I just, watching the game, and then it was just like, nothing worked. It was one of those games where nothing worked. And then at the same time, it was just like, it's impossible
for us trying to make anything work at a certain point.
Right. And then but at the beginning of the game, it was like nothing's working, and at the same time, every time we're trying to get a yard, it's very difficult to get a yard. Yeah. And every time it seemed like we went forward, we went 5 steps backwards.
Right.
I mean, we had 9 sacks. I mean, I get it. Sam Darnold's job to get rid of the ball. There's plenty of times where it probably should have, but have him scramble out of the pocket, roll out of the pocket. The bro cannot sit in the pocket. He doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah. He looks flustered, and so I think the game, the last 2 weeks, kind of showed like, is he really built for the big moments? I don't know. It's tough. It's frustrating. I mean, we went 14-3.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously he can win games.
That's kind of the catch-22.
Yeah.
We won a bunch of games, but is
Sam Darnold the guy?
The answer.
Yeah. And it just depends. I think it comes down to money. Obviously, you have your future quarterback in McCarthy.
Yeah.
But it also comes down to where it's like, okay, well, we can't just hand... Because here's the problem. I was thinking about this. We can't just hand the keys to McCarthy and be like, all right, go do something. People are going to be more pissed because we're not going to be very good.
Yeah.
And there's going to be issues where it's like, well, we just lost this game. And then it's going to be like, well, is McCarthy good? Well, I don't freaking know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay, so how much would you pay Sam? Like, what contract?
Dollars?
Like, annually per year.
Okay. Annually per year. Do I have a year? Like, can I say X amount of years for this?
Yeah, like 4 year, 100 million or whatever it is.
Okay. I would say,
or you can just say like per year you would pay this much and you would sign in for like this many years. It doesn't have to be like, oh yeah, 4 year, 112, and that means that it's like whatever that is.
Got it.
It's like per year and the total amount and the total years.
Yeah, I think I would probably say 3 years.
Okay.
I would say 3 years.
Do you want the numbers that like other quarterbacks are? Just for reference before you go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, the reality is this. I'll say this. The numbers are obviously the most important, but I would say I would not sign him for more than 2 or 3 years because you're already transitioning to a new quarterback. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, the difference is you're essentially hoping that J.J. McCarthy comes back and is healthy and can play, and that's the future guy, and you're going to go with him.
Yep. Okay, I'll be honest. Cap number versus cash spent. Not exactly sure, but I think we're just going to go off cash spent because that's what the player would get.
Okay.
Right?
That's guaranteed?
I think it's guaranteed plus the yearly included in there.
Okay.
Like Dak Prescott is at the top at $86 million.
A year?
Yeah, but he just signed his most recent one.
Oh, yeah, so it got bumped.
He's like the highest quarterback or whatever.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so obviously I'm not going to start saying those quarterbacks up there because that is not where Sam Darnold's going to be. Right. Okay, so Jalen Hurts, 40. Trevor Lawrence, 39. Aaron Rodgers, 38 and change. Stafford, 36. Baker Mayfield, 32.5. Lamar Jackson, 31. Derek Carr, 30. Then you got the rookie quarterbacks. Geno Smith, 22.5.
He's got to be up on a contract, though. Because he's probably going to get paid at some point. He's been decent.
Yeah. Either this year or next, or this coming off season or the year after, one of the two probably for him.
Yep.
Gardner Minshew, 12.5.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett, $8 million. Tyrod Taylor, 6.
This is the last year of Geno.
This is where you get into like the backups. So where do you see Sam?
I would say if he's going to take a 2 or 3 year deal, I think it has to be in the range of. I mean, it has to be in the range of 80 to 90 million total
for 3 years.
For 3 years, so it's around. It has to be around 30. It
Yeah,
has to be around 30 because that's enticing him to come back. I mean, some team would pay. I mean, you look at those quarterbacks, like Derek Carr's getting 30.
Yeah.
And those other guys are on rookie contracts. Geno Smith
Derek Carr's 30, Baker's 32.5, Stafford's 36.
So I would say realistically, so and Geno Smith's on the last year of his contract, but I would say realistically,
like this past year or this
2025.
Okay.
So this coming year. But he's also 35 years old.
Right, he's older.
But so my thing is realistically, if we wanted to keep him, it has to be in the range of 90 to 110 million. Like 30 has to be the lowest.
Okay.
Because he would technically be the lowest starting. I mean, he brought us to the playoffs. He's a Pro Bowl player.
So if you're the Vikings, would you pay him $30 million a year?
I guess we would have to go into the thing is this.
No, I'm asking you. You're the.
Well, no, because I would have to see how much money we have to spend elsewhere. I think here's the difference.
Well, we have 70-some million cap next year.
I mean, I would be fine paying. I would be fine paying him $30 million if he would take it. I don't think he would take it.
Really?
I think a team would pay more for him.
Yeah, but if you, okay, now flip yourself into Sam Darnold's shoes.
I'm trying to get 40. I'm trying to get, and here's the thing with 40. Sam Darnold. I'm trying to get a 4 or 5 year.
That's Jalen Hurts.
I'm trying to get a 4 or 5 year contract. Yeah, but look at all the new guys that get contracts.
Yeah,
look at Kirk Cousins. He got 50.
I know, but that's just.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but well, obviously Sam's trying to get 4 or 5 years because he's sucked.
Where's Tua? Tua's at what? 41?
43.
43.
Yeah.
He's a better quarterback than Tua. I'm sorry, he is. He's a better quarterback than Tua. He's a Pro Bowler. He's a Pro Bowler.
This 1 year, he was gone and forgotten about up until this year.
Yeah, but all it takes is 1 year. Look at Kirk Cousins. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look at a lot of these quarterbacks.
Kirk was pretty good for a number of years.
Yeah, but look at a lot of these guys. Derek Carr. Dog, that guy stinks.
He's been overall probably about average to slightly above average.
Derek Carr? No.
Overall
stats. Like his career stats. No, he has not been above average.
I would say...
Don't get me wrong. The team he's played on are dog
I
water.
said average to slightly above average.
I would say he's average.
To slightly above average.
So Sam Darnold in this 1 year, Derek Carr in his whole career had one season that he's better than Sam Darnold. And I actually bet you Sam Darnold's stats were way better because he had 30-some touchdown passes. Sam Darnold led us to 14-3. I know he sucked in the 2 games. The hardest part is this is
there you go.
We're gonna have to
recency bias.
Yeah, but we can't also throw in a guy who's basically a rookie into this and be like, all right, here you go. Here's the keys to the castle. You were hurt last year. we expect basically the same results. Because now the difference is, this is the thing, is we're expecting our team to finish second or first in our division every year.
Yeah, but why would we sign somebody for 3 years?
That's what I'm saying, 2 or 3 years. If he signed a 2-year deal, he will. I'm just saying, if I put myself in Sam Darnold's shoes, I'm not taking a 2-year deal.
No,
Because
that's
you're
just
gone.
stupid.
Right. But I'm saying
Because if you sign a 2-year deal, that basically means, okay, you might play the first year,
Yeah,
and
and
look
you're
what
out.
Kirk Cousins did happen.
well, he 4 years.
Signed 4 year, but after the first 2 or whatever, then it's whatever.
Yeah.
Then they don't have to even keep you.
Yeah. I think it comes down. I think if you're putting myself in the GM shoes, I would be fine paying him $30 million a year. If I'm Sam
For
Darnold
2 years.
for 2 years, maybe a 3rd-year option. I don't know how that shit works, but
that's what we're really getting into.
yeah, we'll just throw that in there so we sound knowledgeable. But if
It's got a team option 3rd year.
no idea, we don't even know what cash hit means versus cap space.
Well, at least I mean we know what team option versus player option.
Sure. No, 100%. But what I'm saying is, I think the thing is,
give the people a little 20-second overview of that player
what?
option, team option.
what do you mean? What's the difference? Oh, like the player option where they can
3rd
decide
year
to.
player option, the player gets to decide if they
Yeah,
take
it's
that
in the
year
works.
in their contract or if they move on and they go somewhere else. Team option is
The team basically has to decide that.
they get to, yeah.
So if you're in your 3rd year and your 4th year is a team option, the team can pick up your 4th year option.
Correct, yes.
Yes.
And then you're around and you make whatever is associated
Yeah,
with that number.
I think $30 million is fair. I think 2 or 3 years. I think the hard part is this: and if we're calling a spade, I don't know how the game would have worked. But if we're calling a spade, last year we are not where we are without Sam Darnold.
No.
We're not where we are without Sam Darnold. Let's call a spade. Playoff game. I don't care who you throw back there at quarterback. That person is getting screwed. I don't care if it's Mahomes. I don't care if it's Josh. Maybe not Josh. Maybe somebody who's actually elusive. Sure. But I think it's hard when it's like, okay, so he was a Pro Bowler, so he was one of 3 of the best quarterbacks in the NFC.
But you could argue that Baker was better and he was a snub.
I agree. There's snubs all the time. I'm just saying, if we're going based off of that, I don't disagree. I think Baker had a fantastic season. I think Baker always gets snubbed, but that's like his.
He
MO.
deserved a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he always
But anyways.
does. He always gets snubbed.
All right, so you go $30 million, 3 years.
2 years, 3-year team option.
Team option. He for
We'll
sure.
keep it to us.
He for sure is not taking a team option 3rd year.
Okay, well, if he does.
See, I don't. That doesn't excite me, to be honest with you.
So you don't want Sam Darnold back?
I think that he's too expensive. I would say that it's similar to how I felt about Kirk Cousins last year. It's too expensive. We don't want him. I would much, much, much rather do a similar deal. I told you this before. Similar deal to what we did with Sam this year. Do that same exact thing with Danny Dimes next year.
Okay.
And then we have the same plan that we wanted to do this year with Danny Dimes and JJ versus Sam Darnold and JJ this previous year.
So the question becomes, well, we're not paying Danny. Or
No.
we are. We would pick it up.
Well, I don't know if he has options or whatever it is, but even if we got to sign him and we're paying him $10 million, he's made a ton of money from the Giants. It's not like he needs to make a bunch of money to live.
Well,
you
no,
know?
but here's the reality.
But if he's somewhat decent, it resurrects his career. He can go somewhere else and play, and then at that point, JJ's ready to go.
Yeah, but I think the hard part is, first of all, as we all know with every single professional athlete, it doesn't matter how much you've made in your past, you're going to want a ton of money. I mean, we talked about this off-air NBA. Luka Doncic is about to potentially get a supermax of $350 million.
Yeah, but that's NBA.
But this one, but I'm just saying,
NFL is like significantly less.
No, I get it. But see, here's the thing: is you're telling me if Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs came to Patrick Mahomes or some of these pro guys, and they were like, "Josh, sorry, we're only going to pay you $30 million." He'd say, "No, I'm going to get paid $45 million. I know I make. If you play one season and make $45 million, you're set for life. You are.
No, right. But
Your kids, if you're Patrick Mahomes, your kids, golden, silver, bronze, sterling, set for life. Everyone is.
you forgot the dog, Silver.
Oh, shit.
But I feel like Danny Dimes is getting paid by the Giants just like Russell Wilson is getting paid by the Broncos.
Yeah, but I think that was for last year.
He
wasn't
just signed his contract.
I know, but wasn't that last year? Don't we have to technically pick it? I don't know how that works.
I don't.
How much are the Vikings? Oh, okay. But I think this.
This is probably one of the most searched things today. They're like, get Sam Darnold out of here. Danny Dimes is okay.
Yeah, he was fine. So, yeah, we get allocation veteran minimum 1.125. Far less than that for his time in Minnesota. He signed a short-term contract, but it's prorated, whatever. But I think the difference is I think we have to pick something up if we keep him. I think that was literally just for last year.
Right.
Like it's like the same thing with Russell Wilson. If they keep Russ, they're not going to be. They have to pay something for him. And don't get me wrong, the question would become this, and this is the hardest part I think with the JJ McCarthy. So hypothetically speaking, let's say we don't pay Sam Darnold, and we go this route. We pay Daniel Jones, and let's say next year. Hypothetically, unfortunately, let's say we start out the season and we're 1-5. And at that point, maybe we have our bye and we sit here and we go, okay, we're turning to JJ.
Yeah.
And we finish the year 6 and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he wins 5 games. Great. You know the entire year, every single person is still going to bitch and be like, dude, why did we do that? Why did we not? Sam Darnold brought us to the playoffs. He brought us to 14-3. Gave us a chance to win the division.
And you want to know what?
So then hypothetically speaking, the hardest part is this: I just think I don't know. I think JJ McCarthy is good. I think he's a great player. I just don't know if he's ever a franchise quarterback. But you don't know that until he plays, right? Yeah. But that's the thing.
I mean,
you kind of know what you're getting with Sam Darnold.
You'd rather have it happen, like hopefully we don't. But if we start 1-5 or whatever it is, you'd rather have us understand what he's got when we're 1-5 putting him in versus 6-0 and we're like, all right, we need you and you have to perform.
Well, I think it's the same. It's the same story again. Even if we started Daniel Jones and we did whatever, and let's say we went to 6-0, do you bench Daniel Jones? That's the hardest part. Is there's never a good time, right? Because it's like the same situation with.
We'd see how impressive KOC is at making those tough calls.
Yeah. I guess that's a hard decision. I mean, I think we obviously have a lot of other holes we need to fill. We have a lot of guys that are on 1-year contracts.
We got a lot of money.
We do have a lot of money, so this is a big offseason. We don't have a lot of draft picks.
Big offseason.
But I also think at the same time, I think we have the pieces to the puzzle. We just got to put it together. 1 year. All you need is 1 year.
You just need one magical run.
Yeah. I will say this. I was thinking about this. This is kind of a hot take.
Okay.
Do you think if you're a head coach, or so like Brian Flores has already come out and basically said, okay, if anyone offers me a head coaching job, I'm taking it. And he said that before the playoff.
He already said that?
Oh, he's agreed to it.
What?
Yeah, he said, I'm interviewing for every job, and if they offer me a head coaching job, I want to be a head coach. I want to go head coach.
Okay.
Do you think that plays into the fact he is already thinking about being a head coach next year, whatever?
Well, better not. I mean, it could have been because his defense played like ass.
But the last 2 weeks, our defense has played like ass. But I'm just saying, it just seems very interesting where, don't get me wrong, I'm not putting a blanket over what Sam Darnold did. I still think there's more problems than that, but there's coaching problems. But I just think, like, that did not look like our defense.
Well.
And so I don't know. I think it's just a hot take where it's like, do you think he was kind of thinking like, nah, I'm out of here. I've already done my due diligence, dude. I'm out of here.
I mean, I'd hope he'd want to win a Super Bowl, but...
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, dude, think about how much you get paid for head coach. He's always wanted to be a head coach.
He was already a head coach, and he sucked at it.
Correct, but he must. It's an ego thing, Chris. You don't want to be an assistant. You want to be the head coach. You want to be the big dog. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully not. But quickly, foreshadowing. Yeah. This weekend's game: Texans-Chiefs, Commanders-Lions. That's Saturday. Both games almost double-digit spreads.
Ooh,
so if you have plans, do them Saturday.
Just don't do them Sunday night because that's going to be the banger of all banger games.
Yeah, that is going to be a great game. So then you have the Rams-Eagles, 2 p.m., and then 5:30 p.m. Ravens-Bills. Good, too, 5:30 p.m. Not very late. But a fun fact for you, for those that don't know, MLK Day is Monday, so some of you guys even get off work that day anyways.
Will you be working?
Absolutely. You think the trucking business stops, Chris?
I will also be working.
Come on, Chris.
Look at us. Manufacturing and trucking.
See? That's what we do.
We're so blue collar.
Not at all. But yeah, no, I think it'll be great games. I think it'll be very interesting to see, like you said off air, the teams that get the buys. So you have the Chiefs that got the buys and the Lions, obviously, that got the buys. Both playing home. Chiefs 8-point favorites. Lions 9.5-point favorites. It's tough. I mean,
a lot of
points, but these teams already have a game under their belt. They kind of had the momentum.
Won.
Yeah, especially the Texans. They rolled them.
Yeah, but Commanders.
Yeah, big time win.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's. I am kind of unfortunate. I wish you'd see the Bills Ravens in the AFC Championship, but of course we got the freaking Chiefs again.
Well, they should have won more games in the race season.
I guess that's what they say. Predictions?
Saturday predictions. I think that the Texans will cover, the Chiefs will win, and I think the Commanders will cover, the Lions will win.
What about the over-unders? Do you think they can sniff 56 points, Lions Commanders?
I don't know what the...
55.5.
What's the first game?
41.5.
I think that one sneaks over.
55.5, 56 points. Two of the fastest playing teams.
So what would that be? What's 56? That would be 20.
Maybe 30 to 27.
So that'd be, 30 to 20. Well, they're projecting, 9.5. Let's do the math really quick. That'd be 34 to, no, that'd be 32 to 23. 32 to 23, about.
Yeah, give or take.
So they're saying the Lions are going to score 4 touchdowns and a field goal, and the Commanders are going to score 3 touchdowns and a field goal ish. Give or take.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. But they play fast. They play fast, and both teams. I mean,
honestly, I'd probably. Man, that's so many points. But
your heart.
I'm taking over.
Yeah, I was gonna say everyone wants the over though because you want it to be a shootout.
I'll take the overs in both games, and I'll take the underdogs to cover but lose the money line.
Yeah, I would say
what are you taking?
I think the Texans cover.
Okay.
But I think the Lions will milk them.
Okay.
I think the Lions come out and just
over
fire. Under. I would say over of the 41.5. I think the Lions put up 40, so I think this goes over as well.
Okay. So over.
And then we got the Rams, Eagles, Philadelphia -6. That's how it starts. Total 43.5.
Take the Eagles.
Yeah, I just don't know if the Rams can repeat it on the road. I also think this is a huge game for AJ Brown.
You think?
Yeah, I think there's all the videos of him reading on the sideline. I think that just gets the people fired up and he goes off.
Or that Witherspoon guy, because apparently he's pretty good. He goes on AJ Brown. Devontae Smith has a good game.
Okay. Yeah.
Potentially.
We'll see. I think the Eagles cover. I do think this is actually, to be honest though, I think this is the under. I don't think they hit 43.5.
43.5. I think over.
So then we have the game of the year. Some would say Ravens at Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
16-degree weather. Hopefully no snow, so we can actually see some performance.
Yes.
Baltimore
It
technically
could be cold.
-1.
Just give us a dry game.
No. Yeah. Let's keep the wind minimal too.
Yeah.
Baltimore -1. Team total 51.5.
Over.
Do you think more points are scored in this game or the Lions game? I know you want to say this game because I love this game.
I know. I'm so pumped. Don't. If you're gonna text me, just do it before 5:30.
Oh, calling out the people.
No, I'm just kidding. You can text me all you want, but I'll be so locked in on this game.
Yeah, this should be. I mean, this is. Who do you got? Bills, Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah. It's kind of a toss-up. I will say this. They were showing the new stadium
kind
of the Bills.
It's -1. That's basically it.
Yeah, basically pick them. They were showing the stadium. I feel like if you play in Buffalo, wouldn't you want like a retractable roof or something?
No, they love the elements.
I know, it's just so dumb. But I'm gonna go Bills here. I also do think the over.
Really?
I think Josh Allen takes care of business. This is Josh's year, baby.
Okay.
Josh's year.
Big year for him.
I would love to see a little. Actually, yeah. Hopefully Zay Flowers is back. I don't know his status. I think he's supposed to play.
Is he?
I mean, they kind of need him. I guess they don't really need him. They don't care. They just do whatever they want anyways. But
okay.
Ooh, 50.3 and 49 point. That's very
so
close.
That's
really the
definition
closest
of a toss-up.
Yeah, questionable.
But just cloudy, not snowing supposedly so far.
5 days in advance.
Hey, better than
Already seeing snow.
if it said it was already gonna snow, that would be bad news. Okay, so we're both on the Texans. You're on the Lions. I'm on the Commanders. Both on the Eagles, and then we're split. So we're split in the AFC. Or no, we're split in one game on either side, and I have 4 overs because I love points.
Yeah.
And you have
I have
1 under,
I have the Rams, Eagles under.
and then all the rest overs.
Yep.
All right. Well, if that tells you anything, probably gonna be unders.
This whole weekend was unders.
So,
Bet accordingly if you can. Just fade us.
yeah, this wasn't advice. This is just our opinions.
Oh, I like that line, Chris. Okay.
What
Say it
else
one more
you-
time.
What?
It wasn't advice. That was just our opinions.